And we're away at Optus Oval with French getting right in amongst the thick of it, and he might just get a free kick. Advantage not paid by Scott McLaren. So Barnaby French for the Blues. Got a couple of options. Could have gone to Bentic. Goes longer than that. They want to get it in quick to Favola. Nicholson with a big fist, and a powerful one it was. There's White. Green. Perhaps a little hurried in his disposal. Bentic could now... French and Houlihan combining. Good presentation by the Blues. Jared Waite. Hesitation though. They've let him down a bit there. He got the hands free. Bell, Koutafidis. And the crowd will be a big factor today, Sauce.
Well, yeah, Carlton's first quarters of late haven't been good. They've been absolutely smashed in the first quarter. They need to make sure they get the score on the board, at least be competitive in this first quarter. Well,
both sides were very disappointing in the first quarter last week. So it's a real scrap, and I think we might expect a fair bit of this afternoon. Let's hope we get a great contest.
And on the flip side of that as well, Melbourne have got to try and take this crowd out of it, take the emotion out of it, and make sure they get off to a good start.
Brent Maloney playing forward, which is interesting. He's spent a lot of time, obviously, in the midfield. There's White, who was towed up by Everett last week, giving good service from McLean, but within Bentic putting his body and obviously been given a big role this afternoon. Latham has been down on form a little bit. Enjoying the encouragement and the space here at Princes Park. Enter Lance Whitnell and Brendan Favola. All behind the back. Brendan Favola trying to lift the Blues. Off to the captain. Captain Cooter. No.
Almost from Anthony Koutafidis. So the Demons bring it back in. Brown still inside defensive 50 and kicks well to McDonald. Melbourne trying to mount something here. Handball back to Brown, who has a casual bounce. Good chase by Waite. Green now high towards half forward. Holland in good position. Almost the mark taken by DeLuca. Spills to Maloney. He's on attacking 50. Kick around the body. Goal square vacant. Houlihan getting back. Big chance for the Demons here. Cameron Bush well tackled by McGrath. Lappin. Now Stevens and the Blues cool in a crisis. A kick to Carazzo is okay. And he marks 25 metres from his own defensive goal.
And Carazzo's got the big job on Adamuzo.
That crowd already is so ferocious, really getting behind the Blues, as you'd expect. As Thornton goes for a Saturday stroll, there's actually a free kick paid down the field, if you wonder why everyone was so casual. Camporelli's kick is quick and effective. Koutafidis. Maybe he's doing some sort of roaming ruck roll. We'll try and pick that up as he gets them deep inside 50. It looks like he is, because French has placed himself up forward. Already the pressure growing on the Demon defenders. Bell wrapped up. What do you make of that idea, Sauce?
Oh, I think it's good. We saw Spider Everett push forward against White last week. And Koutafidis, if he does that, will force White to go with him.
Here's Bizzle, who was shut out last week, just 2 possessions, so it'll be interesting to see what the Blues' tactics are to nullify him. Robertson versus Teague. The boundary line, very close. Cooter's getting a good feel for the footy early. Needed protection, and he got it. He is kicking not great. French presenting well. Camporelli's got a man flying past. It's Matty Lappin. Has he got the toe and the skills? Scotland off the left. And Nicholson back in the side today with a relieving man.
Just chips into the back pocket, Whelan. There goes further afield, and Bizzle with his second possession already in this match from half-back. Loose player on the wing is McLean. Melbourne just methodically working it around his southern wing. Loads up now, long towards half forward. Holland to Luca at the back. What was a push? No, free kick, play on the call. McGrath's handball straight to Teagles, too fierce to Luca. Well tackled by Holland. He's wrapped up. What's the umpire going to do here? He's going to ball it up. A bounce at centre half forward.
It's just so important for both teams. Both backlines over the last week have been a little brittle. So it's really important that they get the ball inside their forward 50 as quickly as possible, put them under pressure.
Holland got it down and then retrieved it at ground level. Handball forward, McDonald. Wild handball out wide. Now a chance for Uze. Good tackle by Stevens. He got boot to ball though. Green called to play on. McDonald too far out to score. Uze. Got around McGrath too easily from 45. Uze loads up and just misses to the right hand side. So a point each in the early stages of this final game at Optus Oval.
Such a talented player, Adam Uze, to be able to get the kick away when he was tackled just moments ago and then follow up with a shot at goal.
Rickle stays back, allows Houlihan. Now he comes in to help out. And as a result, Demons claiming a free there, Maloney and Ferguson. And Maloney and Scott McLaren know all about it.
Just at the other end of the ground, Barnaby French has gone to full forward. Good move by Dennis Pagan. Melbourne not overly tall in their back half.
And I think trying to drag Bizzle out of the play as well, Sauce. We talked about how important that was last week for Hawthorn. Meantime, McGrath goes for Whitnell, who's playing a centre-half forward role. Kicks to the Waite direction. Bell will have his hands full with Waite, but he's got great support. Whelan and Nathan Brown, who was tagged last week as a defender, goes for Brad Green, who had the mouth open and the arms ready to take it and go. Delivery pretty good. The old son at Princess Park, a problem there for Ben Holland. And the Blues able to clean up. Houlihan on the wing where Eddie Betts was licking the lips and the hands. He was ready to go. Whitnell calls him on. But unfortunately, Whitnell, he can't do that, surely. And an umpire not penalising Lance, just telling him to go back. Well, I've never seen a hip and shoulder on a man on the mark like that before. But Houlihan goes in short to Scotland. Oh, terrible kick. Now, a real foot race. Nicholson versus Favola. Time for the full arc for Favola. Whitnell's got to be the man to go. He's at the back. They're all up and only Melbourne down. And Travis Johnston to try and clean up for the Demons, but he hasn't yet. And he needed great reinforcements, and it came with Wheatley. It was pretty good last week. Johnston trying to rediscover his best form. Kicks it onto the wing. Holland playing in front. And the ball goes over the line.
Free kick to Holland. And just a big job for DeLuca back there as he kicks towards half forward. Green in good position. He marks. Loose player in the pocket. Robertson can kick a goal from 20 metres, and he does. The first of the match. The Demons are on the board. So, after some good competitive play, Steve, just opened up for the Demons.
Well, it was good usage, wasn't it? It was Holland who was presenting, but Brad Green, who's trying to get to Anthony Koutafidis, was able to get off in there, be used as a player, handball over the top to Robinson, who's such a critical player up in their forward line, gets an early goal.
So first goal to the Demons. And you can go forward again. Teams kick run down. Stevens, Houlihan. Oh, he's set up. Davey was there, the worst man to handball near and set up for a tackle. James McDonald. Cameron Bruce in the long sleeves for extra protection. And he misses just.
Just so lucky then. Houlihan's handball was lazy and slack, no intensity, just handball backwards, puts a player under pressure. Very lucky to get away with not getting a goal scored against the men.
We saw Davey on the ground and we saw Maloney sitting on the bench. That's the only change so far.
Lappin, searching kick, looking for Scotland. Good fist from Wheatley at ground level. Wiggins, beaten to a day by Holland. Somehow got it to Green, who loads up to the goal square. Couple of Melbourne players there, teed it brilliantly in from the side. It sat there, and Robertson and Bruce were underneath it, but David Teague was fantastic getting back and affecting the spoil.
He was. And Melbourne just pumping the ball in long, putting those Carlton defenders under pressure.
Both sides have really loaded up forward, haven't they, Steve, with their key players in Meats, obviously. Green's forward at the moment, Robertson, and at the other end of the ground you've got Whitnell, Favola and Waite.
Yeah, both teams lack a little bit of height in defence.
So Holland is playing game 150 against DeLuca. Bentic, Lappin. Good presentation by Waite, but again the skills not up to it there. Johnston meets his first real chance. Jeff White looks like he's taking coup de fees deep into his defensive area. This is Lappin striding through Princes Park, heading for Nicholson versus Favola. See the Demons, they all peeled off to get in front of Favola. Made it difficult for him, but he gets a chance. After the hard work from Waite, he put his body on the line, so too McDonald. And it's the Demons that reap the rewards. Great teamwork. Travis Johnston. Great kick. Uze spilt the beans. Houlihan backed his own pace there. And this time his delivery a little better for Wiggins.
Carlton fans appreciating the mark from Simon Wiggins. And he's got it between half-back and wing. There's Jared Waite moving for him. Decides to kick in Waite's direction. Again he drops it, but he recovers well at ground level. Wobbles it towards attacking 50. Nicholson attacks it for Bowler. A chance at the back from 40 metres. He snaps goal. It's offline. French doing battle with Bizzle down on the last line for Melbourne. Behind only to the Blues.
Michael, I just wondered whether he needed a kick around the corner there. He had time to steady and kick the drop punt if he wanted to.
Whelan makes the break. And that is very scrappy delivery. Try getting on the end of that. Aaron Davey will try. And off the left he might just miss.
Did that easy, didn't they, Melbourne? Brought it in from defence, from a kick out. Within about 10 seconds, they put a point on board.
So the Demons a little wasteful early. Lead by 8 points. Lappin, who's played a lot up forward this year, with the responsibility to kick in today. Melbourne pretty much one-on-one right around the ground. He kicks looking for Whitnell. Oh, should have taken it out in front. Ferguson got a fist in there. Now it's a free kick to Carlton. No, play on's the call. Whitnell sweeps the handball to McGrath. Here's a chance for Carlton. McGrath can run. He decides to. Sprints away from Ferguson. Long inside attacking 50. In comes French. Couldn't hold it at the full to Melbourne. Whelan sweeping 35-metre handball to accommodate McLean. And now Melbourne a chance on the rebound. He kicks towards the lead of Neitz. And yes!
Great grab.
Spectacular stuff from David Neitz. And it just came out far too easily. There was no one at the front of the pack, Steve, for the Blues. And it's resulted in David Neitz kicking for goal from 45 metres.
Well, this is the mark by David Neitz. Great control of the footy with one hand. But as you said, Michael, the last two times Carlton have gone into a pack-type situation. Ball's come to ground and Melbourne have just run the ball out.
So David Neitz, an opportunity from 45 metres. Kick looks pretty good off the boot. It's close. Not sure. Offline.
One thing's for sure, Mike, we won't get much help from the crowd when it comes to Melbourne this afternoon. Apart from the cheer squad and a couple of other patches, there's not too much red in the crowd.
Daniel Bell's just come off the ground. Hutto's got a massive welt on the outside of his right thigh. It's very, very unusual looking injury.
Thank you, Andrew. 11 plays 2. The other thing about Carlton's forward line, Sauce, is that Favola's been crowded pretty much every time he's flown, hasn't he?
Well, it has. Obviously not.
Oh, Jeff White!
What a grab.
Providing the acrobatic highlights. And into Philip Reid for his first touch of the footy with the Demons.
I think he's saying it's flat. He's just said to the umpire, and you can see him squeeze the end in there. He's saying the ball's a bit flat umping. So, not to worry, he said. I'll go back and kick a goal anyway.
He was the most benched player for Melbourne last year. 59 times he was sent to the bench for the year. Here's the kick from Reid. Not bad at all. It'll do the job. Another one to the Demons. First kick of the year for Phil Reid in the seniors, and he makes it good.
And set up by this terrific mark by Jeff White. That's the beauty of Jeff White, his ability to get across on those kick-ins. But Phil Reid coming in this side, obviously brought in for his grunt and his hardness. That's a good start by him. Great goal. And they are changing the ball.
So the Demons, and there's another look at the spectacular mark taken by Jeff White.
And Michael, you mentioned about the football. Phil Reid there's Bell in a lot of pain, but the football is actually being changed. Phil Reid was correct that it might have been a little flat, so the umpires have opted to change the football.
I reckon Phil Reid would have been happy just to keep playing with the one he had. So the Demons off to a good start here. White gets it down. French, who's taking the centre bounce down, then heading forward, wraps it up. And we'll get a secondary bounce. Reid exerting his influence in more ways than one in the early part of this match. He's got the job on Nick Stevens. Brought in specifically, you would think, to play that role. French this time gets it down. Wiggins fighting hard, trying to get the kick forward, couldn't. Kouta-Fedes. Again, Melbourne applying pressure. So umpire McLaren forced to bounce again.
And the next goal is critical for Carlton. They have been smashed, and in the last 2 to 3 weeks, so important that they get a couple of goals this quarter. They don't want to be outplayed and lose a quarter by 5 or 6 goals.
Well, Bruce, and again the ball in tight somehow. Wiggins gets it to Camporelli. Can't control it. In fact, he's down Camporelli. And Melbourne a chance now through Brown. Now Waite, who is he taken high? No, the ball ricochets to Wheatley, who kicks high around the body. Reid's run hard, he's in space, just forward of the wing. Philip Reid, can he use it? The loose player is Holland, and Holland's marked 45 from goal.
Yeah, it was a bad decision by DeLuca. He was caught whether he should come up and create the contest or stay back on Holland, but he didn't decide. He stayed in the middle of his decision, basically between the two plays. He either had to come up and compete with the marking duel or stay on Holland.
Well, Steve, you mentioned the first quarter. In the last 3 games, the first quarter for the Blues, they've kicked a total of 1 goal 9. The opposition, 17 goals 11. They've been smashed in the opening quarters of the last 3 matches. And Holland just rubbed salt into the wound. Another one for Melbourne. So the Demons off to a flyer. They lead by 21 points. And we're about 17 minutes into the opening quarter. And this is just what Carlton didn't need.
Well, they didn't want, but a perfect start for Melbourne. They needed to get off to a good start, try and take the crowd out of the equation, and they've done so far in this first quarter.
Dennis Pagan, the last time he saw his team kick a goal in the first quarter was in round 6 against Hawthorn. And they're staring down that prospect yet again. Bentic, he's got a tagging role in the middle of the ground. Whitnell trying hard. Kouta has got Green running alongside him. And Sylvia with the acrobatics. Pretty good last week, but he turned it over this time. Kouta-Fedes. Well placed kick to Whitnell. Scott Camporelli. Travis Johnston is trying to get on and tag, and Johnston's having to counter Bannister, who's getting in his road. Camporelli was a little sore a few minutes ago, but he got clear there.
Yeah, it was really well set up by Kouta-Fedes there. Camporelli just kept his ground, stayed out of the contest, was able to be used, and was able to get a nice little kick across to Lance Whitnell.
So Lance Whitnell, who last week played in defence for almost the whole match, has kicked 10 goals, 10 for the year. And that's a very important goal. The first one for the day for the Blues. Something to cheer about.
And I guess that getting the ball out of the middle is just so important. Not only at this ground, at any ground, but this ground's fractionally smaller than most grounds in the AFL. And Carlton were just able to get the ball out of the middle. It was well set up, a nice little tackle out of the middle, but Kouta-Fedes was the one that set this play up. Lance Whitnell finished with a goal.
So finally for the Blues, Melbourne dominating the hit outs. They lead 8-2. Now 1 for French. Kouta-Fedes, classical. Now Houlihan. Norman uses it very well. Kick towards half-forward. Reid in the way. He's got the job on Stevens. And he marked comfortably at half-back. Off to Bruce. Penetrating kick and finds Uze on the long lead. Out wide. He chips towards half forward. Robertson, T cutting the angles. Chance here for the Demons. Holland forced the kick quickly. Play on's the call, didn't cover the required distance. White gave it up to DeLuca. Bent it, an unusual looking kick. Now a chance for Maloney. Well tackled by Carazzo. Ball in dispute. Bannister. Kurtafidis. Well done. He kept his arms free and got it back to Bannister. But he gives it straight up. Uze. Now Johnston. Wanting to draw a player and eventually kicks across the ground. A couple of Demons there. Maloney. And the Demons set up now as he handballs to Whelan.
And wanted to get it back, but he goes wide and that out for Johnston. There's Bannister, who is, as I said, trying to stop Johnston. Tag Camporelli. Lots of red jumpers there, though, at the moment. The Demons, will they prevail? Carazzo now with the job on Davey. Sheer weight of numbers, winning out. Clever handball from Reid. Was he infringed upon Davey? He was. In the back, advantage not paid.
I don't think. I reckon he took a bit of a dive there. I reckon he's very lucky to get the free kick.
Oh, this is what Aaron Davies' speed does, though. It basically puts opposition players under pressure, knowing that he is so electrifying off the mark. But Carazzo knew that, so I guess he was really agitated to get across and try and get the tackle on.
Perhaps held without the ball in the end there, Chris, but it was very much a 50-50 one. And Davies certainly trying to do all he could to help the umpire make up his mind. And he just jabs at it a bit, doesn't he? Stabs and goes across the face. So a disappointing result. The Demons 3-6, so they really could have made a bigger dent on the scoreboard than they have. Already the margin, as you can see, is 16.
Two behinds for Davey. Stevens again with his right knee strap. In doubt before last week's game against the Cats, as blood rule invoked, with Ben Holland coming from the ground. And he'll be replaced by Jamar. So Nick Stevens try and restart play. They can sneak another couple of goals, or at least a goal here, the Blues. They were right in touch despite being outplayed in this opening quarter. That's what's ahead of Nick Stevens. Decides to kick deep into the pocket. And mark taken by Wiggins. Now DeLuca. Being called to play on. Good run provided by Stevens. Out wide. McGrath, little fumble, but it's good enough to gather on the second attempt. Back to Stevens, who kept running. Was held out by Sylvia. No free kick this time. And now a free kick to Melbourne. No, it's coming to Carlton.
Well, he did well there, Barnaby French. He hit his head over the ball.
It's reported him, actually. Which, I mean, he put his head down. I think a report, maybe a free kick.
He probably ducked into it a little, but smart play. He kept his head over the ball. Well, you just can't charge, can you?
No, maybe fair enough.
So the free kick to French. On centre wing. Kicks towards half court. Camporelli pushed off it. Now a chance for Bizzle. Good stuff from Walker. Got in hard. Sylvia. Well done. Andrew Walker applied plenty of pressure. Now towards the wing. Lappin. Too good for Bruce that time. Now Kurtafidis. He's got a loose player at half forward at Scotland. Just over his head. Let's reel him in with a chance now. Good one-on-one battle there. Whelan too good. And he gives it back to Brown. A little kick around the body. Green gathers it brilliantly on the half volley. Feeds it back to Whelan. Melbourne just struggling to clear the area at the moment. Good pressure coming from Waite. Green, an underground handball. They threw it away. And eventually the boundary line is the victor. So a boundary throwing at half forward for the Blues.
Look at the crowd. The boys over there. They're going to have one last long, loud shout today, Sauce.
They certainly will.
Whitnell took the risk by grabbing it out at the ruck. Was that high? No play on. Houlihan trying to do it on his own. Shake the kick into the pocket. Waits. Johnston. And it opens up for Green. Look at the paddock ahead of him. His 10th disposal. Will it be a good one? It was perfect. Lace out for David Neitz. And Brad Green back into the midfield today after kicking 4-goal score up forward. He certainly provides them with plenty of run.
Well, you just can't afford to have Brad Green standing there on his own. He just uses the ball so well. carries the ball through the midfield, and you wouldn't want to be Brett Thornton with Brad Green kicking the ball to David Noots.
Well, his opponent sort of is Cooter, isn't it? Cooter's had 8 possessions. Here's Meeks for his first of the afternoon. Aligned perfectly as he came into kit. The goal umpire moves only now. And in the end, the Demons going to have a fairly good reward for all their work for the first quarter. They lead by 22.
Yes, and we just saw Brad Green strolling out of the Carlton back half there. It's just a training drill, really. And there's the push-off that David Noots does so well. Once he's in front and he's able to protect the ball, well, you've virtually no hope.
So Neil Danaher would be very happy, I'm sure, with this opening quarter by his team. They're controlling things at the moment. French gets it down. Johnston, clever.
French is down
towards half forward. Green, another opportunity here. He knocks it on intelligently. Although Carlton are able to get back first. Some confusion between Wiggins and Thornton. They use each other. And then a hurried kick, and it's ineffective.
Well, see, that wasn't great play. Thornton was actually heading towards the Carlton goals. Wiggins was heading away. Thornton should have been the man that received the ball. French down.
In massive trouble, Sauce.
Yeah, not good news for the Blues. They really haven't got a backup ruckman. Maybe DeLuca's the man there.
Well, there's a very comfortable mark. And he'll kick from pretty much right on 50. That's bad news for the Blues. Barnaby French in all sorts of trouble. We'll get down to Andrew shortly as Morel comes on. But Adamuze, a chance to extend this lead from Melbourne. Kick to the goal square, and it's offline. So another behind to the Demons.
So some renovations needed for the Blues after this injury in the ruck contest with J-Mart. Morel's come onto the ground, so you think he will probably go back, and DeLuca into the ruck. This is Thornton strolling out of the fence. Good protection. Allowed him to get away from Meeks. He had to kick quickly to get away from Davey. And it's a huge pack of players here on the wing. You can see the scramble. Wait. Bannister.
That's a poor kick. No left foot. He had Favola and Morel free.
Might get another chance here for Favola. Camporelli looks up. Favola is leading deep. And in the rush, the smother occurs. Bannister. Teague had time. What a shocking kick. Sylvia. The Blues somehow need to manufacture a goal here to give them some hope before quarter time. Morel is just on the ground. Mr. Walker. Andrew Walker gives the Blues some late hope in the first quarter. Maybe he just loves playing in this ground, so he wouldn't have played on it too many times, but his first ever game, of course, he had 26 possessions and got Brownlow.
I tell you what, the number one can kick it pretty well, can't he?
Yes, he's only a youngster, but good usage, and that's what Carlton have really struggled today. They've been turning the ball over. And just as it stands at the moment, Lance Whitnell has been forced to go to the back line. Morel has gone forward. Good to see Morel get involved nice and early to be able to get the ball out to Walker. Barnaby French there.
He has seen all sorts of trouble. So another knee injury from a ruck contest. They needed that. The Blues need to hold on here. DeLuca now forced to do the ruck work. Wiggins gave it straight up to Green. His handball tried to thread it through. Didn't get through. Although eventually it spills to Johnston, who brushes aside. McGrath kicks towards full forward. Whitnell forced to go back almost to mark. A clever mark to White. But the Blues have been out of trouble. Lappin, he directs play out wide. Chance for Camporelli as we tick down to quarter time. I don't think there'll be time for the Blues. He kicks it inboard towards DeLuca. But quarter time here at Optus Oval for the very last time. And there's another injury. This time Simon Wiggins is it for the Blues.
17 points the margin then. We're back to look at the game and talk more about this venue from over the years and the moments, so they haven't all been Carlton ones. One of the most famous here at Princes Park. 1976, it was round 10. How long was the kick? Don't know what Blighty reckons these days, but let's have one more look at it for old time's sake.
Carlton and North Melbourne played some epic matches in the mid-70s. None quite as famous as their Round 10 1976 clash.
Siren's gone. No, Blight will have to take his kick.
On the final siren, the Blues led by a point, but the mercurial Malcolm Blythe had a shot from a long way out.
Not over yet. What drama here at Prince's Park. Malcolm Blythe, it's a big kick.
His kick remains one of the most famous in history.
On Tuesday night, a great Fitzroy wingman, the debonair Warwick Irwin, plus the man who is simply known as the Cat, and the afro hairdo, Vinny Cataggio.
Grumpy Old Men, Tuesday on Fox Footy Channel.
Coming soon. Representing the primetime Brit Block. For the first time on subscription television, big up the Mac Daddies of British TV. Kick it stateside with Ali G in the USA.
Booyakasha! Check it out, I is here with none other than my main man Buzz Aldrin.
Is you upset that Michael Jackson got all the credit for inventing the moonwalk, but you was the first geezer ever to actually do it?
The hip-hop king of the UK goes back to his roots.
Yo, boom, boom, shake the mofo room.
Hanging with a posse of the best comedy Britain has to offer.
Hear me now.
Oh, thank you.
I was so excited, I has already got a semi-lob on.
A new series, Ali G in the USA. Coming soon to the primetime Brit Block. Only on the Comedy Channel. Respect.
Wednesday, in part one of another open mic exclusive on the Fox Footy feature, the Herald Sun's Mike Sheehan, one-on-one with Hawthorn ruckman Spider Everett, who reveals plenty on his younger days.
As a kid, I was sly. We'd get into a fair bit of trouble, but not a lot of people would catch us.
Coach Alistair Clarkson's appointment at Hawthorn.
Well, I was in Bali when we got the phone call, and a lot of blokes didn't even know who I was to what.
And those tattoos.
It's an amazing feeling. It's just something that grows on you. They're actually addictive.
Open mic with Spider Everett, Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
Not so many smiles down there on the Carlton bench, unfortunately.
They're just moping around together, Andy and Dave, unfortunately.
Well, that's a significant blow, Sos, isn't it, the ruck situation? We'll talk about that more in a moment. Favola not really getting a sniff from Nicholson, but it's been more the fact that he hasn't had the delivery. 17 points, here's the margin.
Underway, second term, Koutafidis tries to get it clear, taps it. A chance for Robertson, already in the centre square. Koutafidis, beautiful palm off, but there's a free kick. And it's going to come back to Robertson.
Interesting tactic at the start of that quarter. Jamar wasn't on the ground, snuck on from the interchange bench.
And McLean stripped it down, Steve, and is marked inside attacking 50. Again, poor marking by the Blues defence.
It was, and had to readjust. Jamar had snuck off from the interchange bench, and there was no one around. Lance Whitnell was the one that was forced to go around and man him up.
So they've gone as tall as possible, Melbourne.
Walt smart, very smart.
McLean kicks to Bruce. There's easy. Jalai drops it. Thornton had dropped off and Bruce kicks it wide. It's coming back, but it misses by a long way. In fact, it's missed everything. A lesson there for young players. Don't assume your opponent's going to take the mark, because Bruce was allowed a shot at goal when perhaps he shouldn't have been.
Yes, you'd think that Neil Danaher would push wide forward maybe at some stage through this quarter and back Jamar against DeLuca.
Thornton was loose for an age there. Eventually he's manned up. The rest of them all in one-on-one situations across half-back. And this is where the ball's headed. Look at all those Melbourne jumpers. White with the fist in. High hurry kick from Kate Simpson, who's on the ground now. Morrell trying there to be competitive lap and tried to just shovel it on, but Bizzle. And now Brown and Travis Johnston. Robertson. Teague in attendance. Travis Johnston, no one marking him. Bannister has that job. There's Uze, who, as we've seen for much of the year, is again spending most of his time in the forward 50.
Yes, and Adamuse, who's such a good kick for goal, doesn't need too many possessions. He's trying to get Ryan Houlihan as deep as possible and get him on the lead.
7-1 is the marks inside 50 so far. Adamuse coming off the 13 possession game last week after 20 the week before. 16 goals, 12 for the year coming in today, and that one is right on line. What a sharp shot that was. One goal, 2 for Adamuse.
And what's been significant in this game, Michael, is just the usage by Melbourne. Where Carlton have failed to hit their targets, Melbourne Schools have improved as this game has gone on. And we saw that short pass there, and the kick for goal was superb.
Well, Travis Johnson involved twice with 2 perfect kicks to his leading forwards. So real problems now for Dennis Pagan. Blues down by 23 points. Confidence a big thing with Carlton. Having been smashed the last couple of weeks, they need to stay in touch. Chance again for Melbourne. Sylvia headed wide. Out wide to the southern wing, Ferguson and Bannister, and a boundary throw or a free kick. It'll free kick. It'll come to Ferguson. Ryan Ferguson looking to put Melbourne into attack again. There's the lead from White. McDonald, his eyes to kick long towards half forward. Bruce almost. Well done. McGrath did enough. Spills Johnson, who's been influential. Off to Brown from 30 metres. He runs in and kicks across the face. So a behind only. They've been peppering the goals, the Demons. 13 scoring shots to 4. They lead by an even 4 goals.
Now the Demons threatening here to really smash Carlton, but the Blues could take heart perhaps from Adelaide last night if they can just hang in there and get their game going. Who knows, maybe they might be a chance. Walker, they just need to lift their skills. They are missing targets left, right and centre. Whelan with the cleaning up duties.
That's the difference. Melbourne are hitting their targets.
Needs to McDonald. And Davey lurking even when the mark was dropped. That's not a bad kick. Cameron Bruce pushing pretty wide. A tight kick.
Well, they're just under pressure at the moment, the Carlton forward, Carlton backman. The ball coming into their back half, or Melbourne forward half, far too easy. And just Melbourne's quickness, foot skills at the moment are just causing all sorts of problems for the Blues.
So Cameron Bruce on return from what was a blistering start to the year before he was cut down by injury. Averaged 25 possessions per game and kicked 8 goals, 3 until getting injured at the start of that round 4 match against St Kilda. But he hasn't quite got the kicking boot on yet today. That's his second behind. And the Demons go to 5-9-39. Carlton 2-2-14 and need to get a move on the Blues.
Stevens to Scotland. Searching kick again, Lappin. Too far in front of him, but he's got time to get around Green, and this time he delivers well. Mark taken by Waite. Off to T. Long inside attacking 50 for Bowler at the back. Won't get there, but in front. Strong mark taken by Digby Morrell. And the Carlton fans appreciating the efforts there, and it was good movement that time, Stephen. Even though perhaps a missed target here or there, they managed to work their way through.
Well, good body usage by Morrell, but the impressive thing about that bit of play was that the Blues got the ball in quickly from the behind down 20 seconds ago. They were able to run it up, and their usage was nice and quick. Get it in direct, give your forwards every chance.
Hasn't kicked a goal this year, Digby Morrell, just playing his 4th game. From 45 metres, drop punt is pretty good. The Blues get one back. So good play with Morrell starting Steve on the bench, but as you said, good body work in that pack.
Yeah, good body work, and he's been involved in Carlton's last two goals. So he's been able to set a couple of plays up for the Blues, and coming off the bench, he's starting to work hard, something that the Blues need up in their forward line.
at least Barnaby French able to walk, so that's some encouragement for him. Centre clearances of 5-3 Melbourne's way to the match. They'd had the last two. Digby Morrell, who kicked that last goal, kicked 4 goals in the VFL last week and was best player for the Northern Bullants, Carlton's feeder team. So perhaps he could really give them some help up forward. Green. Oh, Demons everywhere. A bit of a fickle bounce that went Melbourne's way. But
I reckon there's been 2 or 3 of those, and it's hard to sort of blame it on a bad bounce, but that was a classic example where there were 3 Carlton players first to the footy, and Melbourne was still able to take it away.
He was, but Greg Green just having a corker of a game. 12 disposals so far, ball usage superb.
Corker. Here's Russell Robertson. And that one's online. The Demons have struggled, but that's a goal. And when I say struggle, they're struggling in front of goals. 6 goals, 9 they've kicked, but that is enough to really flatten.
It wasn't a great bounce, but Jeff White started the attack with his ruck work. Melbourne just forced it forward, and Uze was able to get on the end of it. Well, Robertson, I should say.
And Dennis Pagan would be concerned. 21 inside 50s to the Demons, 14 to Carlton. And the stars for Melbourne, Johnston's taken it in 6 times and Green 5. Here's another opportunity, this time for Stevens. Simpson hoisted high towards full forward. Oh, gee, Melbourne have got the numbers. Lappin had to beat Bruce and Bizzle.
Well, Bizzle isn't the one that Carlton want to free up. When Melbourne win, he averages 18 disposals. When they lose, he averages 8. And at present, he has 5.
So the D's work it out to Sylvia. Well, he's still inside defensive 50. That's what's ahead of him. Pretty much one-on-one contest, although Brown jars himself free. Runs across centre-half back with a casual bounce. Long to a vacant half-forward position. Uze coming to meet it. Controlled it brilliantly on the half-hole. That was superb stuff. Bruce into the hole. He'll be crunched. Well done, Teague, sensing the danger. The Blues now a chance. Thornton, Camporelli, look out, Palazzo. You're in all sorts of trouble. Expels to David. He can waltz in and kick a goal for Melbourne. He almost took out the goal umpire, but Melbourne increased their lead out to 31 points, the biggest of the match today.
Well, just under enormous pressure, this Carlton back line. Great effort by T to get across and put the spoil. Bruce courageous in going back, but you just got to get it out of there. Camporelli's handball backwards again, puts Carrazzo under pressure. Thump the thing 60 metres out of the back line, and you'll get a better result.
Aaron Davey, 1 goal, 2 for the afternoon. And the margin, as you said, Michael, out to 31. And the Demons now threatening to explode as they go forward again. Good fist, but camped at front and centre was Uze. Oh, would have made it 6 goals plus.
And once again, Hutto, Melbourne out of the middle. They almost walked that ball out. There was no Carlton sweep, or he committed to the ball. Really dangerous.
Carrazzo an option in short, but Whitnell ignored that. And now they've dried up. Got Houlihan in very short, goes to himself. Stevens, and then now he finds his man. Low kick, oh, straight to a one-on-one. Blues really not doing themselves any favour. Well played by Carrazzo to get it up onto the wing. McGrath takes the mark. Fairly open forward line. Bannister, Whitnell pushing back to the square. Goes wider instead. Oh, 50-50 ball at best. Holland intercepts. Wheatley. Good desperation showed by Jared Waite to lock it in. And Houlihan over the top. But again, the weight of numbers. And the ball was already over.
It's a terrific play by Holland there. He had to either commit or stay back, but he anticipated the kick across, was able to intercept the kick.
Brendan Favola had wandered right up into the middle of the ground. Not sure where he's playing at the moment. Tudor. Oh, he's gone. Trying to lift. But he couldn't. do it on his own. McLean to half forward. Uze, good work from Whitnell to create a contest. Stevens, and now Lappin. Camporelli, and Houlihan, and Walker strolling past. And now Walker, he's being hunted by Sylvia. Did well to get boot to ball. Johnston, time on his side. Had a couple of targets through the middle. McLean strolls away.
From the centre, he kicks to half forward. Jeff White all by himself.
Got Uze free if he gets it up.
And he marks 55 from goal, chips it towards his captain. And Steve, it's just all too easy.
Oh, it is. They've got control of the footy at the moment, Melbourne. How's this for bad manning up?
And Uze's marked just 5 metres from goal. Angle obviously acute, but it is in the right forward pocket, so favours his left boot. And here's a good look at what confronts him.
They have this game under the control at the moment, Melbourne.
He'll just run around and jam it onto the left boot and kick it onto the roof of the Robert Heatley stand. Adam Uze, his kick 1-2, comes in and misses to the near side, I fear. So, you'll be disappointed with that.
Hutto, you mentioned that Fafala was up the ground. The reason why he is up the ground, Melbourne have got control of the ball. Nicholson's running him every opportunity, taking him out of that comfortable position at full forward. Really smart play by Nicholson.
They've kicked 5-5 from set shots, the Demons. In fact, it's 18 scoring shots to 5. And as Walker, who's looked pretty good today, goes out to Simpson. And he wants to bolt. And that's one thing he has got, pace. He uses it to get onto his left and delivers well for DeLuca. That's probably the best bit of play of the day for the Blues so far, or close to it.
And it happened because Simpson had enough courage just to take the risk and play on and give his forwards an opportunity.
And Adrian DeLuca looks much more comfortable in that half of the ground than the other half, Steve.
Well, he does. He looked uncomfortable when he's down back. He has played down back on a few occasions, but really, I think Carlton would like him as the third tall forward up in the forward line.
Averaging just 5 touches in his last 3 games. Only had 1 possession last week, but has kicked 6 goals, 1 for the season. It's a little wobbly, a little unsure, but it almost did the job, not quite. And Nicholson right there on the line. And just when the Blues needed a goal, they only get it behind.
Carlton interchange bench. Wheatley now from fullback. Oh, gee, it's a wobble. It's a shocking kick. Straight to Morrell. And it just wobbled off the boot of Wheatley. And Digby Morrell now an opportunity to kick his second goal. And certainly would be a valuable one.
And just good to see a couple of the Carlton senior players just settling down, have a shot at goal. It's within range.
Gee, he missed the target by a long way, Wheatley. Not quite sure who he was trying to pick out. Carlton might sound a bit bizarre, but I reckon if Carlton could just kick a couple of goals and generate some confidence, they're not completely out of it. Morrell from 40 metres. Drop punt on its way. Oh, the goal umpire doesn't move. He kicks his second. So Carlton narrow the margin back to 26 points. And although it was a Melbourne mistake, it certainly was a great kick from Morrell.
Well, it was, and look, Morrell's only had the 3 disposals, 2 goals, but he's putting himself in a position where something may happen, and he's working hard, and he's had a bit of luck on that occasion. Really good to see a player come off the bench and get involved.
I think more like Glenn Wheatley than Paul Wheatley. Plays 4-3. Maybe that will fire the Blues up. Jeff White's pretty pumped after his disappointing game last week, though. Trying to give Melbourne first use out of the middle, and that's exactly what happens. Maloney and now White himself. Another ordinary kick. And the Blues might take some heart if they can just win the footy here, and they will. Advantage paid. Stevens can go. Adapts the kick, tailored it nicely to DeLuca, who just wanted to move it on. Favola playing behind, though. And he couldn't get anywhere near him. Nicholson. He's got the release on the outer side. Johnston and then Brown further adrift, or even Reed. Wait, half a chance to get there, but in the end couldn't. Demons just getting a little sloppy at the moment. Certainly giving the Blues half a sniff.
He's got Holland forward, needs to get it in quick.
Whitnell playing well off his man. Well, timing's everything, isn't it? And the Blues defenders just couldn't get anywhere near it. And Cameron Bruce just arrived right at the right moment.
Well, really good. Put it in the hot spot. The ball was intended for Holland, but Bruce read where the ball was going. Holland was able to get a bit of a screen on Whitnell. Favola off the ground. The reason he's off the ground is that he gave DeLuca a serve. Favola actually led to the wrong part of the ground. As we see the goal go through.
And it does, yeah, it sneaks through. It's a goal. So once again, the Demons have the answers.
Well, they do, and look, they're just ball usage much better than the Blues. Bruce just working his way into the game. Such a very good player for Melbourne. Great ball usage. But we saw Brendan Favola get taken off the ground, spoken to by Dennis Pagan.
Jeff Wyatt taking a rest.
And just getting back to Brendan Favola, he came off the ground. Dennis Pagan took him off for basically giving a serve to DeLuca, and wrongly so, because DeLuca actually was kicking on his left foot. Favola went up the ground, almost impossible kick to get to.
Whitnell does well, but he only knocks it into the path of the dynamic Aaron Davey from attacking 50, just chips and Holland marks. The umpire McLaren just pulling him around on the mark. Lance Whitnell stands it. So patched up Ben Holland playing game 150. This will need to be a superb kick. He'll kick from about 55. Kicks it. It'll land in the goal square. Needs in front for Favola marks strongly. Now, no 50. No. So Favola deep in his own defensive zone. Delivers out wide. Wait, again a bad bounce, but the kick didn't hit the target. Support there for the Demons. Bizzle, Jamar. Now Bizzle, time to assess things. Kicks deep towards Neitz, who comes and marks on his chest. And he'll kick from about 30 metres in a 60-degree angle.
Well, Favola was his direct opponent on that occasion. I just wonder whether that Favola's been pushed back into the back half.
Is he using the old Gehrig treatment that he did from last year?
Well,
so they're certainly dominating the Demons up forward. 14 marks inside their attacking 50. Carlton have taken just 4. And David Neitz, there's 1 goal, 1, the captain, back into the side after just missing 1 week with a hamstring strain. From 40 metres. He comes in. It's a pretty good kick off the boot. He likes it. He kicks in second. So Melbourne certainly have all the answers at the moment.
Well, they do, and well, they've got too many targets. They're winning the clearances, and really these Carlton defenders are under enormous pressure. And we just see Brendan Favola ball off David Neitz. Pretty tough playing down in the back half.
David Neit's opponent is still Brett Thornton. Brendan Favola's on the wing at the moment. You see him on the top of screen. Jamar with the tap. Sylvia, that is emerging. Out wide for Favola's direct opponent. Nicholson setting up Reed for his second. That was just far too easy. Well worked by the Demons, and Phil Reed kicks his second, and Melbourne go further ahead.
Clinical, wasn't it? Just better usage. Once again, Melbourne get the clearance out of the middle. Set up by Sylvia, Nicholson, Reed, goal.
So they're dominating the centre clearances, Melbourne, 9-5. There's Philip Reed. He's got the job on Nick Stevens. And he's kicked a couple of goals. As umpire McLaren restarts play, J Mark got it down to McLean, around the body towards half-forward. Whitnell coming out, takes a very good mark low down in front of Holland. Feeds off to Houlihan, poor kick again, cut the ankles, well done Johnston. He was brought down by Favola, but the kick made the mark. Uze chips it across and Davey. He's marked 20 metres from goal directly in front.
Michael, that kick by Travis Johnson, he actually kicked it on the outside of his foot. It was just super control.
He's been fantastic, Travis Johnston. 14 possessions, and his effectiveness has been one of his hallmarks. And Uze coolly chipping it across there. So Aaron Davey has already kicked one. He has 15 for the year, and he's squeezed. No, he's just missed. Gee, it was a poor kick from really 25 metres in front. And here's the Johnson kick you were talking about, Steve. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Morrell the target. He gave Holland a chance and didn't even just spoil. He actually took the mark. And unfortunately his dexterity on the run not quite so proficient.
The kick wasn't great out from Paul back. Really put him under pressure.
Nicolelli wanted to get it moving to the outer side, but by making sure it's directly over the mark.
We just see Uze just coming in towards the centre of the ground on the mark, which hopefully forces him to kick out wide, but opted to go the other side of the ground.
Trying to use the pace of Simpson, but Maloney shadowing him and wrapping him up and pinning him. Quite sure what he was supposed to do. Maloney, a powerful kick. Uze tries to get there. Robertson in the middle. Whitnell, safety first.
The Blues have just got to start winning some footy at the moment. Melbourne have got control of the ball. There's the... he's trying to hit it out.
I think it's very, very, very tough.
Nothing going right for Carlton. They're away then, and the ball has been brought back by umpire McLaren. So Stevens will have to do it all again. Margin is 46 points. Demons led by 17 at quarter time. And this is turning into be a nightmare day for the Blues. So Stevens kicks long. Oh, big lead for Robertson. Over the back. And how's Houlihan? A chance. Normally his skills are sublime. Haven't been at the best today, but he's got a chance from half forward. Kicks towards the central location. And he coughs it up, because Melbourne have got the numbers. Now, this player on the base of the pack, he pulled that in, he should be penalised, and he is. So the free kick to Favola, got a loose player in half forward, he uses him, Bentic can stroll in from 45, drop punt on its way, and he's kicked a goal for the Blues. Well played, Bentic. And some relief for Blues fans, but it's a long way back.
Yes, and I guess we've just got to keep pressing now. The Blues have just got to keep working hard. Bentic, his first goal of the game. The player playing in the midfield at the moment, and where the Blues are getting smashed is out of the middle of the ground.
But again, it was the Houlihan kick across the ground to centre half forward was a dangerous one, because it opened up the whole ground for Melbourne, but they were able to fight hard enough to keep it in.
J-Mark Simpson now getting a run in the centre square and giving them some dash right to the line. Lappin and Koulafidis down there. And they all go to young Simpson.
Well, I'll tell you what Dennis Pagan has done. He's basically got his senior players out of the middle of the ground. He's put Bentic, Simpson and also Walker in the middle along with DeLuca. So he's flooding these young players in the middle of the ground.
Nothing to lose really as Kuda comes in and steers it through. There he is, Simpson out of the middle, Sauce, getting it in long and strong.
And a play that's taken a little time to develop for the Blues. He's been on the Carlton list for probably 3 or 4 years now and getting his opportunity.
So So the first time the Blues have been able to kick consecutive goals. And who knows if they can sneak another one here. There's Jordan Bannister on the interchange bench.
Maybe another 2 or 3 they need.
Back to 34 points. DeLuca, Bentic again. Can he get it clear? No. Well done by Maloney confronting him. And a secondary bounce. Packed house here. The last ever game at Princes Park or Optus Oval. As Koutafidis now in the centre square. Run it out. Johnston dispossessed. Well done, Koutafidis. Great stuff. He drives it long. 3-on-2 in favour of the Demons. Lappin almost. Bench is held without it. No free kick. Chance for Lappin and great in fact. Almost a throw by Wheatley. And the Carlton fans are absolutely going mad. Lappin emerges from the congestion and kicks it out on the pool. Free kick. Coming back. It's coming back. And look at the Blues fans.
Well, this is all they're expecting, the Carlton supporters, is just have a crack.
Exactly.
Just move it. Move the ball forward.
And your point was a good one. Your point, Steve, putting the young blokes in the centre square was a good one because all of a sudden they've given some life. So Matthew Lappin, this will bring the house down if he could kick this from 45. It comes back. He's kicked it. Great stuff. The Blues have kicked 3 in 3 minutes and they're back in town.
And they might actually bring the house down later if they do get up. Literally.
Yes, and Matthew Lappin, who I think has been Carlton's best player over the last 4 to 5 years, has slotted this goal. What a sensational kick, and he has been a sensational player for the Blues.
Well, the crowd have lifted, and more importantly, the Carlton players have lifted as far as a contest goes in this match. They've had the last 6 kicks, the last 4 inside 50s it'll be. They've kicked the last 3 goals. Can they keep the momentum going? Holding the ball? Yes, it is.
Intensity and urgency. It's a big key.
Eddie Betts off to Walker. Favola circling. DeLuca's down there. Morrell. Digby Morrell. Betts. Wait. Bruce. Reed. Great tackle, but McDonald got the kick away. It's going to come back though. Stevens out to Kate Simpson. Hold on, they tell him. Hold on. Go back and have a shot.
Well, Koutafidis' clearance was sensational. Morrell's effort and also McGrath's tackle, first rate.
All of a sudden, the Blues have pushed the green light on and they are coming at Melbourne. They need to keep coming. Young Kate Simpson's only kicked 1 goal in AFL footy, and that remains the case. Gee, another one before half-time would be handy for Carlton, Steve.
It would. They're working hard enough, so they're giving themselves a chance. Their work rate in the last probably 5 to 10 minutes is what Dennis Fagan would have expected.
So Johnston, a fullback for the Demons, taking plenty of time, and that's a beautiful kick. And the mark taken by Green. He's been the star break, Green, 13 possessions, coming in for his 14th. He's been called to play on now. So forced to kick high and long towards the wing. Big pack of players. Fist at the back. Chance for Bruce at ground level. Nothing much to go there, so he kicks around the boundary line. Well done by T. Couldn't quite keep it in. So we get a boundary throw in on the northern wing. Just over a minute left in this first half. Melbourne got out to a 46-point lead. It's been whittled away back to 27 points. And Melbourne advance it 20 metres, but another boundary throw in. ...60 seconds remaining in the half.
Can the Demons shut up this crowd with a goal late? Or will the Blues dig deep and see if they can find one? Davey. For Johnston, who's been superb. Walker with the desperate lunge. Out on the full. And that does give the Blues one more chance in the quarter.
Got a couple of good pieces of effort there. One by Walker and Waite for the Blues.
Whitnell needed to be good with the kick. Thornton likewise. To some one-on-ones. DeLuca's got to have an impact. He does with the fly. Some good tackling. The pressure Carlton starting to apply. Is starting to win them some 50-50 balls through the middle. Scott Camporelli for Favola. Can he take it? Oh, no free kick. Play on. Lap and duck. Well done by the Demons.
Great effort, Bizzle.
Stands strong and gets it to the captain, who's come down to try and lend a hand. In fact, no, it was Nicholson. They didn't demote Neitz and make Nicholson the captain. I just got it wrong. Johnston kicks to half forward. Bruce takes the mark, tries to give it to his mate Brad Green, who was flying past. Demons on the back foot though a bit at the moment. And the siren sounds. Frenzied last 5 or 6 minutes by the Blues, maybe to give them some hope sauce.
Well, a lot better latter part of that quarter by the Blues. Their tackling was a lot better, really led by their youngsters out of the middle. Bentek, Simpson got involved. DeLuca was good around the ground. Morell up forward, but really Melbourne outplayed the Blues for 1.5 quarters, but there was a bit of fight by the Blues. They fought hard, they chased hard, they tackled hard. They gave themselves a little opportunity up forward.
Well, there may yet be some drama here today at Optus Oval as Carlton and the footy world farewell this venue as a senior AFL ground. Who could forget the drama in round 20, 1981? It was Essendon versus Carlton, and there was a controversial decision which nearly did bring the house down.
Carlton's home ground fans more inflamed than in round 20 of 1981. A 17-point lead over Essendon was overturned in time on by Neil Danaher. One goal came after Mike Fitzpatrick, in attempting to run down the clock, was penalised for time wasting. The Bombers got up by a point, and Blues fans were less than impressed.
Fremantle will have to welcome that dusted and ready today as they host Hawthorn live from the House of Pain at 4:30. Last time the Dockers played in front of their adoring fans, they made a meal of the Magpies. Now the Hawks are on the menu. Genius! Join the game's #1 commentary team and press red to go Fox Fully Active. Your Sunday starts at 4:30 with the Dockers and Hawks live. Then the Winners Weekend Wrap, followed by the Cats and Kangaroos, then the Bulldogs and Swans.
Whatever happened to the real Australia? The Australia where the only high-rise on the beach was temporary. Where it was harder to find a noisy spot than a quiet one. Where the only things colouring the water were fish. Well, I got news for you. The real Australia is still here. Come and see the real thing. Come and see the real thing. Come and see.
I love a laugh. The Simpsons, Seinfeld, Will and Grace. I can't get enough of them, but it doesn't mean I rule my life by them. If I have some pressing engagements or I just want to drop in on a friend, I know my shows will be repeated 2 hours later on a second channel.
With a variety of extra time shift channels, ensuring you have twice as much chance of seeing your favourite shows, it's the choice you've come to enjoy, plus greater convenience. That's what makes digital simply better. Call today to upgrade.
I have a bit of bad news. While you were in the air, there was a military coup in your country.
The Republic of Carcosia is under new leadership.
Carcosia? I don't think he gets it.
Victor Navorsky is stuck.
Beyond those doors is American soil. You are not to enter through those doors.
Amelia Warren is in transit.
Opa, who's belong you?
All the while, life is waiting.
You come this close to America. Why don't you fight?
Tom Hanks.
I go to New York City.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
You are the kind of woman who can get any guy she wants. Why Victor Navorsky?
That's something a guy like you could never understand.
In a film by Steven Spielberg.
You ever feel like you're just living in an airport?
The
Terminal starts Thursday, June 2, only on Foxtel Box Office.
Last week, the gospel was unmissable.
Lawrence Anglin, what about what he has come out and said?
It's a wasteful article, it's a waste of paper. If you're going to walk the walk, you talk the talk, name the names.
If you were at Carlton, what would you be feeling right now? If you had done something, you'd be nervous.
That's The Gospel, Friday on Fox Footy Channel.
There's been some great marks this year. Let's take a look at this week's contenders for the Toyota AFL Mark of the Year.
Some sensational marks from round 8 AFL, including this from Carlton's Brendan Favola. Courage personified. Kangaroo Eddie Sansbury drags in a spectacular one-hander at the Dome.
Takes a miraculous one-hander.
But the winner of the Toyota Mark of the Year for round 8 is Sydney's Darren Jolly.
What a wonderful mark. Weren't they great? See you next week for the Toyota AFL Mark of the Year.
Appropriate that the Mark of the Year update should come from the great Alex Jesaulenko. Quickly down to Andrew Marr before the second half gets underway.
Thanks very much, Hutto. The news on Barnaby French is not that bad. He certainly won't take any further part today, but they're hoping it's only a minor strain and won't be too long term. Daniel Bell, on the other hand, was stretchered into the rooms at half-time. They're saying it's a bad cork. It may actually be a bad tear. He was very, very ill when he came off the ground. When his leg blew up, it was extremely uncomfortable for him, and he's in a fair bit of trouble.
All right, well, let's wish him all the best. 27 points between these two sides as White and DeLuca do battle, and Travis Johnston just keeps on keeping on from the first half. Wheatley's kick looked a little ragged out wide. Camporelli tracked it pretty nicely, and Whittle coming up from the last line to give him some run. Was not great disposal at all, as you saw there from Whittle. Maybe that was a throw. Carlton fans certainly thought so. Nathan Brown. So an indifferent start to this third quarter. Again, Camporelli. Teague. Dropping off now. He's got no one to give it to other than Camporelli, who was flying past. He's been busy in the first couple of minutes. Nick Stevens. Will Reid still by his side. Stevens hoping that Walker could get there. Did he get a shove? The umpire says yes, he did. So Andrew Walker, who had a pretty good first half, Sauce.
Well, he's got the job on Travis Johnson, so really good challenge for the youngster.
Only his sixth possession, but he's looked likely today. Now Favola, can he start the second half in style?
It's a strong grab. Mickelson, aggressive spoiler, but Favola just had the strength in his hands and his arms to hold this one.
He's kicking, just looking at the map from the morning's paper, he's kicking from the spot where John Nichols took out Len Thompson back in 1966, Sauce.
Yeah, well, wasn't around then, Hutto, you know, boy.
Brendan Favola to give them a boost early in this third quarter. Doesn't make good contact. Morrell was down there, he was the man most likely for the Blues along with DeLuca. And we're going to see a throw in.
So a goal scoring opportunity here for the Blues. They're deep into attack. DeLuca gets the front. Favola, in fact, chipped in. Bruce, well tackled. Oh, gee, touch lucky. A tackle from Favola just being deemed a little too high. So Cameron Bruce now, failing to give it to Ferguson, plays on, kicks well. Mark taken by Bizzle. Thought about giving it back to Bruce. He's got a loose player out wide. Robertson didn't get there. Bruce followed up. They combine well. Robertson sweeps the handball into the path of Reid. Melbourne now a chance. Long towards half forward. Neats in front at the back. He's got a bad bounce. Houlihan, that was brilliant. Palmed it deftly to Bentic Stevens. Now DeLuca. Back to Bentic. Forced to kick quickly, but it's okay. Walker not paid the mark. Didn't hold on. Now a chance for Whelan at ground level. Thinks through the situation pretty well. Gives it to Ferguson. His kick out wide to accommodate his captain. Good tackle from Thornton. Support provided by White. They combine well again, Melbourne. Neats. Long inside attacking 50, deep into the pocket, and the Carlton defence do enough. Whitnell and also Carazzo forcing it over the boundary line.
Only 3 fit men left on the bench. Sylvia joining James McDonald, Mark Jamar and Daniel Bell. Of course, Bell, the man who is injured from the first half and certainly out of action for the rest of the day. Davey ready to come on the scene, and he does it in a flash, and the ball is out on the full, just carrying the distance. So T can release Whitnell if he's quick enough. Where to hit from here, though? That is the question for Lance. Trying to release the handball. Stevens, he's got Camporelli on the overlap. Now they have to use it well here. Keep out of each other's space. Houlihan, still got Camporelli away.
Got to go all the way.
Pavola's back in the square, but Camporelli has to go solo. He misses. So just a couple of chances.
David Mead's coming off the ground.
That is a fitness thing. We'll find out shortly.
Demons work it in. Reed back to Johnston, who's forced to kick wide. Mark taken by Whelan. Left half back Matthew Whelan. There's David Meads.
Well, they should have players free at the moment because there's Stevens and Waite free in Carlton's back up.
Big lead from Robertson. Chance for Teague at the back. Took a long time and did it pretty poorly in the end. Took too long. Had Bentic in support. Robertson eventually. Wheatley. Sylvia. Threads a handball through the pack. Brown, well done by Eddie Betts. He'll get a free kick, Betts. No, he won't. He was taken slightly high.
It was a critical tackle, that, because they had numbers around the ball there, Melbourne.
Umpire was on the other side to this tackle. That's why he didn't see it.
The left-hander Sylvia catching him high, but no free kick. It's Sylvia towards half forward. Out in front of Wheatley. He's got to get around Waite. Didn't need to. Handball over the top to Bruce. Bruce on attacking 50 around Stevens. Back to Brown. Left foot kick deep to full forward. Oh, well done. Collins marked. There was shepherding off the ball.
Yeah, it was good play by Uze because he just held Carazzo off the ball.
I'll tell you, I reckon the ball might have been more than 5 metres away, so perhaps a bit lucky.
Yeah, well, he did it subtly enough to disguise it.
Yeah, that was the kick coming in from Brown. So Ben Holland directly in front. Shouldn't have any problem, and he does. He's missed it.
That's a poor kick. It took 2 or 3 steps, didn't it?
The Demons just been a bit sloppy at the start of this third quarter, Steve. Certainly that should have been a goal.
No, it was. There was no momentum behind the kick. I mean,
7-7 they've kicked from set shots, the Demons.
They certainly haven't put Carlton away yet. 10-14 to 7-5. Someone trying to souvenir the footy. They're selling official farewell to Optus Oval T-shirts and caps today. But that would have been the more fair income souvenir of the day. Stevens. Hoping for Kurtafidis. But his hope not fulfilled. The mark paid to Robertson.
Yeah, I reckon fair enough too. He controlled the footy.
Now he's got Hole. He's got Davey down there on his own. Goes into the pocket instead. Uze had an opportunity. Stevens, Whitnell again. For safety. So it really seems like this game waiting for someone to show a bit of authority. Melbourne cruising at least on the scoreboard. They had a lot of trouble converting. 10-15, so 25 scoring shots.
Well, he's got Walker free if he looks to his right.
For 12. He doesn't look to his right. Instead, adjusts the kick and wants to get it back off Bentic and does. Nothing doing for him at all. He just tried to tailor the kick for DeLuca, but you could see all the demons swarming around out there on the wing. Brown, McDonald's got Johnston away. Davies in the square.
That's unbelievable. I mean, that's a turnover up the ground. As soon as the ball turns over, you've got to be hunting your opponent out, and the Carlton players didn't.
So Aaron Davey, who was terrorised last week by Michael Osborne, has kicked 1 goal 3 today. And how can that happen? Russell Robertson on his own.
Well, that situation there, you've all got a man. Bit of direction. And that's all it needs, is really a couple of plays to make sure you've got your opposition covered.
Russell Robertson needs to just drive this home for a goal, which he does.
Yeah, well,
so no joy for Dennis there.
Well, no, it's not. But here it is, a turnover. The problem with that, when Carlton were trying to take the ball out from their defensive half, they had no one presenting. They had to run with the flight of the ball. The turnover happens, and a number of Carlton players here just did not hunt their opponents down to try and man up. Too easy.
Concerns for Dennis Pagan. Melbourne's first goal since the 21-minute mark of the second term, when Phil Reid kicked a goal. Wide out of the centre, Koutafidis. One-hand pick-up, if you don't mind. Betts. Now Camporelli. Need a goal desperately, the Blues. Wait in front. Good, strong mark that time. He needs to get it in quickly. He's got Koutafidis at centre-half forward. Ignores that and goes longer to Morrell, who has to stand his ground. Must get a free kick. And he does. And umpire McLaren was quick to award the free kick, with Ferguson coming back in on top of Morrell. So a chance here for the Blues for a quick reply, and Tignan Morrell to kick his third goal.
Just looking at this entry, so I said, not that there's anything wrong with it from a Carlton point of view. It just reminded me, though, that we haven't seen Favola out on the lead basically all day, have we?
No, we
pass?
haven't. And the other player that really struggled today is Jared Waite. He's worked hard off the ball, but just hasn't been able to find it. It's been well held.
It's been very effective, Tignan Morrell. He's had 2 kicks for 2 goals, coming in for kick number 3. Swinging late, and he may have just missed it. So 2 early misses, the one from Camporelli and that one from Morrell, really making it hard for the Blues to work their way back into the game.
Big game this one for Melbourne today, and look, they've got all their stars back and they've done a pretty good job. 11-15 to 7-6 after being so disappointing last week. Haven't really put Carlton out of their misery yet, but they've controlled things for much of the day. Bizzle trying to lay it off to Travis Johnston, who leaves it behind. Favola. In the end, he was taken out of it with some good shepherding. And Favola gives away the free to Cameron Bruce. Where's it going? He's going across to Travis Johnston. Imploring his teammates to provide an option, and he finds one eventually. Colin Sylvia, who is coming up for possession number 10. Certainly had a pretty good game last week, and he's starting to find some form at the senior level. Brock McLean, another who continues to impress. Bit quieter today. His 9th touch goes to the wing. Robertson in front. So much time, but in the end hasn't used it as well as he would have liked. Koutafidis and Teague eventually work it out. That was a high tackle. James McDonald, the offender. The ball has gone forward. It's going to come back. Can you believe it? The Blues have turned it over in the meantime. Jeff White out onto the wing. Holland versus Thornton. Needs back on the ground. But Thornton winning the day. Stevens surrounded by demons. Thornton left it behind. Good pressure by Melbourne. McDonald surging it forward to Brown. Robertson in the pocket.
Well, they just had the numbers there, Melbourne. Around that contest, there were plenty of Carlton players lining up in the middle of the ground to receive the ball, but yet weren't happy to go over and assist.
Russell Robertson's already kicked 3 goals today. 12 possessions and 6 marks. To be clearly the most effective forward on the ground. And enjoying a pretty good season and productive season. He's kicked 22 goals for the year already. And almost 23. 11-16-82 Melbourne. Carlton 7-6-48.
That's what is ahead of Scott Camporelli at full back for the Blues. Keeps it into Thornton, who kicks wider towards Koutafidis. Good strong mark in front of Maloney.
So this is where they haven't got half forwards presenting. They've got to run with the flight of the ball.
And Lappin does that very well, and he marks in front of Bruce. No 50 there. Lappin on with it quickly towards Favola's got to beat a couple. In front, White. Now Silver, but White will get the free kick. The spoil from Favola a little high. And perhaps just getting back Jeff White and crowding the space in front of Brendan Favola and making it very difficult to play at full forward. Now no one stands on the mark, so Jeff White just lumbers off. And eventually, long kick beyond the wing. Robertson up, good strong mark. He's played well, Russell Robertson.
Yeah, he's hard to match up on.
Off to McDonald. They get it in quickly again. Out comes Whitnell, but Holland almost. Davey at ground level. He's so electrifying. Snap to a vacant goal square. Bouncing through. Inspiring stuff from Aaron Davey.
Did it hit the post?
No, it did, Pato. You're right. Well, the Melbourne fans can't believe it, and nor can I. A piece of magic, we were robbed. Let's have another look at it.
Great piece of play. Great crumbing by Davey.
Yes. Oh, yes, most definitely. The Blues work it towards half-back Lappin. Al McGrath.
Who goes for Kuda. Got a couple to contend with. Does that pretty comfortably. Carrazzo going with him, but he's going longer. Calling on Lance. Oh, they spoiled each other. Favola acting the umpire there. And someone's hurt. Digby Morrell has to get himself up off the turf. Really, it was going to be Favola's mark, wasn't it?
Well, he copped a knee from Lance Whitnell. That was a big hit. He copped a knee from Lance Whitnell, and that's a blow.
Oh. Competed pretty hard today, Digby Morrell. 2 goals. Bannister coming onto the ground.
The shadows have taken over. The sun gone behind the clouds here at Optus Oval. DeLuca trying to farm it down. Bruce trying to clear the danger area. Melbourne just streaming out of defence. Wait, lucky didn't make contact with his foot, and would have been reported for tripping. Plenty of distance on the kick. Scooting after it, Nathan Brown. He may have hurt himself as well in taking that mark.
Yeah, Nathan Brown taking Scott Camporelli deep to the goal square. He's in a bit of trouble there. And I dare to say that Scott Camporelli wouldn't feel that comfortable playing as a defender out of that goal square.
Thornton cleaning him up. Maybe a...
Yeah, I think he got the knee from Thornton right in the kidneys, so he's a tough nut, Nathan Brown, so not all right there.
And like a good full forward, David Neitz reckons he was the man closest.
I reckon Brett Thornton would be happy with that.
Let's hope Nathan Brown is okay. following on from the injury to Daniel Bell early in the game, so some casualties here. Barnaby French, of course, off for the Blues. David Neitz, a couple of goals for the afternoon. 2 goals, 1 in fact, 5 marks. And make it 3 goals, 1 now. As the game is just about beyond the Blues.
Just cops Brett Thornton's knee on the side there. I think David Neitz was entitled to claim the kick as well.
Nathan Brown on the bench, and the advantage in favour of the Demons now out to 41 points. The only 2 goals of the third term to Luca. Again, Kurtafidis at ground level. Teague, poor kick. Chance for J-Mar. Numbers though with the Blues. Wade keeps his hands clear. Somehow got the handball away. Bizzle, well done. Green. Good run provided by Sylvia, who kicks out wide. Well, Robertson's dropped into space. Walsh is into 45. Bombs away and kicks a goal. He's kicked for Russell Robertson. So the margin now out to 47 points, Steve, which is the biggest of the match.
Oh, yes, and Russell Robertson was always going to be a hard match-up for the Blues. That's his speed and his strength, and he's a goal kicker, and really they don't have too many backmen to be able to match up on him. And we just see Colin Sylvia get the ball out wide here. He is now Scott Camporelli's direct opponent.
Time on the bench for Jeff White, 13-17 to 7-6. The sorry tale for the Blues, and a great scoreline for the Demons, who are really flying now. Jared Waite goes for Simpson. Pavola makes a sharp lead, but not really honoured by the kick. Good spoil from Lappin to keep it alive. And Eddie Betts, who hasn't kicked a goal for a few weeks, tries to chime in with one. Just couldn't get it online. Eddie Betts just the 4 possessions and 1 behind for the day. Travis Johnston's done it all for Melbourne. 22 touches. And also the kicking in duties. Bizzle, who's given them plenty of drive as well out of defence. In the Reed direction, but they turn this one over. Betts to Camporelli, back to Betts, using the space in front of him. Trying to be too cute. And now Sylvia just blasts away. McLean should get there first. Scotland in his trail. Holland and Whitnell. Teague, Neitz.
Strong.
Holland, Robertson for his 5th. Uze drops it.
Both Neitz and Holland were very good.
10 disposals for Russell Robertson for the quarter.
So another goal scoring opportunity here for the Demons. Deep in their forward pocket. Whitnell and Holland go at it. Ball spills free. Chance for Houlihan. Good pressure from Davey again. Houlihan retains possession. Got it to Camporelli, who relieves the pressure for the moment. But it is just for the moment because Bizzle marks comfortably on centre wing.
Well, he's the guy you don't want up the ground, Clint Bizzle. He should be dragged back to the goal square.
He's very creative. Coming in for possession number 15. He hoists it high towards half forward. Bruce got rid of Lappin. Fighting hard at ground level. Chance for Thornton. He's got a chance here. He just handballs over the top of the pack towards McGrath. Well done. He almost threw it to Lappin. Somehow he got the ball to Waite. Back to Lappin. Gee, everything Carlton do at the moment is just hard work. They can't get it forward. Now here's an opportunity. Favola hard up against the line and it goes over. So nothing going right, unfortunately, for the Blues. And we've got a boundary throw in at half forward. And there's the despair of one Carlton fan watching his team play for the last time at Princes Park. Kurtafidis Takes it out somehow. Well played, the captain. Kicks towards Waite. Just pushed in front of him. Chance for Bannister. Good desperate stuff there by Wheatley. Still a chance for Blues. Kudafe's doing it all himself. He kicks to Simpson. And Anthony Kudafe's has had 22 possessions. And he's been absolutely outstanding. He's still free. Simpson wants to go back and kick the goal. And the second and third efforts there from Anthony Kudafe's.
Fantastic.
They certainly were.
But he's really played well today, Anthony Kudafe's.
Well, Cade Simpson's just kicked the one behind. As he comes in from 40 metres, drop punt on its way, and he misses badly. Scrapes in for a behind.
Behinds to 3-4 for the quarter. It's been pretty uninspiring stuff for the Blues, but the Demons getting the job done. 13-17 to 7-8. And certainly, Sauce, if they can keep their list intact, the Demons are still a genuine premiership chance, I would reckon. Just got to make sure they've got everyone out there on the park. Stevens to centre half forward. Nicholson, the man most likely left it for his teammate Bizzle, who gives and goes and gets. And then gets into trouble. And gets out of it. Reed. Good enough. McLean. Russell Robertson is down in the goal square. He is licking the lips, hoping he gets a chance in a moment anyway to make a run at one and take a big hanger just to really rub it in down there. He's had a massive day. Kick 4 goals, 1, Robbo. Neitz is down there as well. Robertson makes the lead. Here he comes. And he's got it.
6 marks for the quarter. Russell Robertson. But really well worked by the Demons. Chipped the ball around and then left the space open, the fat side, which allowed Russell Robertson to run into.
Every game so far this year, Russell Robertson, he certainly kept that record intact today, and that makes 5 for Robertson. And the margin out to 51. It's a sorry looking board for the Blues.
Well, it is, but what a quarter Russell Robinson's had. Sensational. 5 goals, 1 for the game, 9 marks, and just keeps presenting, as I said earlier, a really difficult matchup, and Teague has his hands full at the moment.
And the Carlton bench, a smile from Barry Mitchell. But Russell Robertson's taken the Blues apart in this quarter. 11 possessions, 6 marks and 3 goals, 1. And here they go again, another opportunity. Reed off to White. He kicks towards Uze this time. Carazzo Hart on his back, and well done, enough pressure, although Uze goes and gets it again. Camporelli knocks it forward. Only to that man Robertson. Possession number 12. High towards Neitz. Couldn't take it. Well done to Luca Simpson. Well done by Houlihan. He got it up to Stevens, and the Blues, well, they advance as far as the wing. But Tim Bizzle has been awesome in this third term. He marks again. Off to Sylvia, slipped over, somehow got the handball to Reed, who just bangs it on the boot towards full forward, but it's coming back. Another free kick this time to Colin Sylvia.
Well, just with Clint Bizzle, Michael, he's had 6 marks for the quarter. The last week or 2 he's actually been tagged out of the game by opposition teams. But really enjoying that he's back up on that half-back flank.
So Sylvia coming in for possession number 13. And he just chips it out wide to Wheatley. So everyone in the forward half of the ground for Melbourne. Not anymore, because Wheatley chips it back beyond the midfield to Brown, who's recovered from that heavy knock. Maloney's got a player out on the southern wing. Nicholson uses him. waiting for movement. Holland leads. That's ignored. In fact, it's not. He honours it, but probably too late. He gives Thornton every possible opportunity. Well done, McDonald. Put a hand in there. Smothered the handball. Holland kicks towards the forward pocket. That's a great mark. In fact, it's a free kick for a push. As Davies kicked a remarkable goal, but it's got to come back. It's got to come back. And Russell Robertson.
Well, he's got Bannister on him now, Michael, and he's just such a difficult matchup for the Blues. Really, they've got no one to go with him.
It's quite a phenomenal quarter. Coming in for possession number 13. He's taken 6 marks and kicking for his 4th of the quarter and his 6th of the match.
Bannister is I know they're very limited with options, Sauce, but it does seem a strange matchup on him.
6 goals would be a career best for Russell Robertson.
Do you think about putting Jared Waite back on him, perhaps? I know that's, again, they've got to try and kick goals. So.
There's David Neath sitting down again.
The thing about Jared Waite is that they're trying to groom him as a forward line player.
So Russell Robertson from just outside 45. Oh, it's a superb kick. He's kicked 6. What a game. So Robertson has kicked 4 in this 3rd quarter. And Steve, he has been absolutely outstanding.
He has, and if my memory serves me correct, I think Russell Robinson might have been a Carlton supporter when he was younger, so doing the damage here at Optus Oval today. Sensational 3rd quarter of footy.
You knew him as a young man, did you, Sauce?
No, I didn't. Just do my homework a bit harder.
Career best 6 goals for Russell Robertson. Celebrating in style. Not a lot of support for him here, of course, at Optus Oval. He certainly has single-handedly ruined any chance of a Carlton comeback in this 3rd quarter. 57 points. It's been a miserable month for the Blues, hasn't it? The last 3 games in a row now where they've been absolutely smashed. If this trend continues. Simpson, Travis Johnston, Walker, Lappin. Waite left it behind. Brown, again too easy. Good quick movement though by the Demons. Reed, now where's Robbo? Nowhere to be seen. Uze back in the...
Well, that's two times in the matter of probably 20 seconds that Melbourne players actually fended off their direct opponent.
23 marks to 8 inside 50. Now, Uze, if he goes around here, of course, he's going to play on. At least the siren reads, so that should mean that he just goes straight at it. Bring that one back. So not the great way to end the quarter for the Demons, but it was a fantastic quarter led by Russell Robertson. 57 points the margin at the last break. 15-17-107 to 7-8-50 on this farewell occasion for Optus Oval. Let's go back to 1981. Russell Robertson, we know, is capable of some big grabs, but I don't think even he has flown as high as the great Buzz, Peter Buzzasto.
Peter Buzzasto was a glamour recruit from Perth. The Buzz had talent, he had flair, and he loved an audience. Late in the 1981 season, he chose a top-of-the-table clash against Geelong and the goalmouth beneath the Heatley Stand and Social Club to take an unforgettable mark.
Monday nights on Fox Footy Channel, Jared Healy, Robert Walls and Mike Sheehan, all leaders in their chosen field and award-winning journalists, discuss the game's key issues with its most influential stars, power brokers and coaches.
Once you get in game situations, I think you're there to win a game of footy.
On the Couch, every Monday, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern.
You get more for your dollar at Bunnings Warehouse every day. 4-pack energy-saving globes, only $9.98. Assorted Azito tools, a low $29.95 each. Aluminium work platform, just $59. British 4-litre in-colour interior acrylic, great value at $49.80. 2-kilo lawn repair kit, only $9.98. 8pm power board, pack of 2, just $7.50. Combination spanners, $1 each.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
All good, mate.
We're on the eve of the largest robotic distribution in history. 31 robots to every 5 humans.
Thursday, May 26, only on Foxtel Box Office.
Last week on Fox League teams.
That's the academic look at it. I'm asking you the real question.
These are why people go and pay money the game of football.
They get you excited. We are seeing a lot of errant shots for goal. It is a bit of a worry.
Greg Williams is an example. Yeah, one of the great midfielders of all time. If somebody grabbed his jumper, whack.
Fox League teams, Thursday on Fox Footy Channel.
Last quarter then from Optus Oval, the very last quarter from Optus Oval. 57 points is the margin. Will there be something to cheer about for the Blues fans who have turned out in such big numbers in this last term? Let's find out.
Away from the centre, kick forward by Scotland, and a chance for Koutafidis. He couldn't control it. He does now. Well done this time by Waite. Bizzle, she's been fantastic. Clint Bizzle somehow got it through to McDonald. Handball out wide into the path of Reed. Well done for Luca. Met it head on. Great smother though coming from McDonald. Bannister fighting hard at ground level. McDonald in on top of it. Good umpiring, letting it go. Now Maloney just backward to the wing, kicks towards half forward. Holland couldn't control it, but he will get the free kick just forward of the wing on the northern side.
So Holland, well, can you believe it? Russell Robertson was loose and he almost pulled down another one.
A good grab by Thornton. Dennis Pagan has stacked the Carlton forward line with probably the most talent he has, with Waite, Favola, Lappin, Whitnell and Koutafidis.
Well, they should sort their way out of defence. Aaron Davey was trying to change that storyline. And again, he's just so desperate, putting the pressure on the Simpson kick. Houlihan, Camporelli running to receive, and Favola! Ironic, but encouraging cheers for Big Brendan there.
A rare time really he's been able to get away from Nicholson on the lead. And the Camporelli kick here was always tough to stop.
Fresh from 5 goals last week. Just one behind. 3 marks. And this is his 7th disposal for Brendan Favola. And he splits the middle.
Yes, Brendan Favola hasn't had a great day, but I guess he's got a quarter to finish off. But I think it's a good move by Dennis Pagan, stacking his forward line with a fair bit of talent. And with Koutafidis now at centre-half forward, Favola at full forward. You've got Whitnell up there as well, Walker and Lappin. You're a chance to kick goals.
So the Blues, the first goal of the final term, wide up high, and he's given away the free kick, yes. And will be taken by DeLuca. He wastes no time, just bangs it long inside, attacking 50, big leap by Whitnell, chance at the background, Kutafini's hot on his hammer, and in desperation, he handballs into the goalpost. So good to see he made a full recovery from that heavy knock in the previous quarter too, Nathan Brown. And the margin in favour of the Demons back to 50 points.
He knew he was coming too, didn't he? He saw that it was Kuda. Travis Johnston there, flirting with danger. Really gave DeLuca a good look at it. Pavola calling for it in the square. He had a height mismatch down there, and really they should have got it in quickly. In the end, Waite, well, he did well with his kick, to be honest, under a fair bit of pressure. He adjusted the kick for Houlihan. Now Bannister's on his own 30 out from goal, but instead, that's a strange decision. Lappin almost made it a good one. Pressure from Walker. Bruce, the crowd trying to urge these Blues on. Desperate lunge from Jared Waite.
And just from Carlton's perspective here, seeing that they've got their most talented forward line up there at the moment, they've just got to get it in there nice and quickly. That's all they want is forwards.
Need to sort things out between the two ruckmen there, both Kuda and DeLuca going for it. Reed penalised. Camporelli. Stevens is broken. Can he put it on the chest, or will he go for home? He goes for home. There's a couple in a row.
Better ball movement there by the Blues. They got the free kick. Camporelli free there. And was able to release out to a running Stevens, who goals from outside 50.
So the Blues providing some hope for their fans. First two goals of the final term. White decisively down to McLean. Hoisted high towards half forward. Johnston not paid the mark. Swooping on the loose ball. Davey deep in the pocket. He gets around. Handball to himself. He snaps from the pocket and kicks it across the face. In fact, he kicks it out on the full. So the free kick to the Blues. Taken quickly. DeLuca almost the mark. He's been paid a push. And the kick in Carazzo had plenty of penetration on it and certainly helped out DeLuca. At half back for Carlton. Not much movement ahead of him. So decides just to kick long in the general direction of Whitnell, who marks strongly in front of his face. Started at half forward Whitnell, but spent a lot of the game at half back. Kicks towards the leader for Favola, but just troubling the angle. Good mark taken by Holland at centre half back for Melbourne.
He read it well, didn't he? Reed now. Got McDonald further ahead. And Ferguson there. Stevens had to decide which one to go for now. Played on, was a little blindsided by the Stevens approach. And well done by Stevens, and also Bannister. Movement pretty good. McGrath out wide. Whitnell took an eternity to see him. Make a meal of it.
Better start for the Blues. A little bit more intensity, a little bit more direct.
Big chance for Scotland. Couldn't hang on to it. Goes in after it again. Maloney barging through. Blues have built a pretty good wall across half forward in this quarter. Pokes it into the pocket to Luca, who's been good, by the way, in the last 10 minutes. And Houlihan, it is to have a shot for goal.
Oh, he has. Luca's been very good early in this last quarter. Houlihan getting free. She does very well.
Houlihan 16 disposals for the day. So, can the Blues get their third goal of the last quarter? There's millimetres in that, but the umpire says no. Carlton fans cheering, oblivious to the fact that it wasn't a goal.
Right over the goalpost as Wheatley. Melbourne huddle at centre-half back, and now break. So a couple of players jar free. One of them's Brown. Campbell out wide with Paul. Cavola seizes in the opportunity, but McDonald's up to it. Tries to get it back to Brown. He wants the boundary line. Carlton there in number. Houlihan normally uses it pretty well. This time he describes it to Bruce. And a wasted opportunity there by the Blues after the initial Melbourne mistake. Bruce delivers out wide. McDonald off to Ferguson, running from half back. Now Melbourne into attack. Thornton going back with courage. Chance for Teague. Uses Thornton. Now he's got McGrath across the goal face. The kick missed the mark. Uze now seized on the opportunity. Handball back to McLean. 45 from goal. Just hoisted high to the goal square. Robertson in good position. Spurs to Carazzo. And he emerges from the congestion with a bounce. Kicks out wide and almost a mark to Wade. He's dropped a couple, Jarrett Wade, today. He got it from Houlihan. Long towards half forward, in front Lappin. So Carlton, just the intensity is lifted in this final term. Favola on the lead.
Great kick, Matthew Lappin.
Well, he's got a couple, Favola, one from Camporelli and now from Lappin. And he hasn't had that luxury throughout the course of the game. It's been coming in pretty slowly, and he's had to beat a couple of players most times. And that's the mark from Lappin. Now Favola has kicked one in this final term. That's his tally for the match. And a chance to kick the Carlton's third goal of the quarter from 49. It's a pretty good kick, but he's just missed to the near side. So 1 goal to the tally for Brendan Favola.
The Blues have been inside 50 8 times compared to 3 for the Demons. 7 goals is the margin. And again, 32 scoring shots to 20 for the day. And again, the pass pinpointed to Clint Bizzle, who's coming in for possession number 20. It's just a touch of going through the motions about the Demons at the moment. Ferguson for James McDonald.
It just seems as though they're just slowing the game down, getting the game back on their terms. Carlton's had all the play in this last quarter. Just trying to find an opening here.
Travis Johnston. Match high possessions of 24 for Travis Johnston, leading all comers. Holland and Neitz both making leads, as you can see. Neitz, he's probably just about within range. He's out where Malcolm Blight kicked his goal from. Of course, Blighty was probably another 20 or 30 metres further.
Oh, he's going to go for a torpedo too.
He's trying to recreate Malcolm Blight. David Neitz. No.
Got onto it.
I've seen it all. 108 to 65. So he's really getting into the occasion there, David Neitz. What else can we have reenacted in this last quarter?
Stevens from full-back. That's a great kick onto the chest of McGrath. From centre-half back, Ashton McGrath just chips further afield. Camporelli, well done, good running. Now very open forward. In fact, no one inside attacking quick to the Carlton. That's why he's taking his time. He's got no one to kick to. Hacked out by Johnston, and he was held. No free kick, as Melbourne can clear in any case, and Nicholson just chips.
The occasion on a few times today, Michael, is that when Carlton have been going forward, they just had no one across their half-forward line. Favola was the only one.
Bizzle. Outstanding today, Clint Bizzle. 22 possessions. Maloney in the centre of Optus Oval. He delivers play out wide, and the mark taken comfortably by Uze.
Great kick.
It certainly was. Uze didn't have to break stride And he's been a valuable contributor, just coming in for possession number 14, but he's taken 8 marks and he's had kicked 1 goal for.
It was a very good build-up too, because they brought the ball into the middle of the ground, which opened up all the angles. Uze found the space out wide. Maloney was a great kick.
6 marks he's taken inside attacking 50. Uze hasn't been kicking accurately. He's kicked 1 goal for today from 40 metres. Oh, gee, that's an ordinary kick. And a chance for Stevens to relieve the pressure. And he finds Walker at half back for the Blues.
Just 8 possessions for Walker. Thornton carefully, wasn't far enough. Waite did well to get the hands free. Thornton and now Walker again. Favola demands it short. Whitnell wants it long. And he takes it. No, he drops it. Did all the hard work, Lance. And then left it behind.
Yes, he had it. And just a little fumble at the end.
Camporelli couldn't run onto it. Eddie Betts. .108.66.
The Demons huddling once again. We'll push over to one side.
Pizzle pulls in mark number 11.
Think about this too. When they do their kick out, the Demons, their forwards hold at the other end of the ground, which gives them plenty of time to either kick over the top onto a running player or a half forward presenting.
Bizzle's kick is marked by Bannister, who kicks into the corridor. Favola, big mark. He was 4th man in line, but he attacked the footy hard and is marked 45 metres from goal directly in front. And as we watch Favola, that's great strength. Once he gets his hands on it, it's hard to stop. And he's kicked 1 goal. 1 goal too. From just outside 50, he bangs away and it's home. Brendan Favola has 2.
And we just see Bannister here get the ball in nice and quickly towards centre half forward, and a very good mark by Brendan Favola. And that's a part of his game that he has become very good at. As a youngster, probably not as strong overhead, but has worked over it over the years.
Talking of famous things on this ground, Sauce, the ball bounced in the middle somewhere near Azuma Nelson, and Jeff Fennick did battle, of course, in a boxing contest here. And we've had operas on the ground as well, haven't we? All sorts of things.
We have. And just for just a little point for people, that legend stand was actually designed by Justin Manning.
Camporelli gets it forward, taken by Eddie Betts. Oh, the Blues, they're having a crack. Points the difference.
Well, once again, better movement, get it in quickly to a restructured forward line. Eddie Betts front and square. Why wouldn't you be with a couple of tall targets down there? Favola very good 2-on-1.
So Carlton have kicked the only 4 goals of the final term. The margin is back to 31 points. If only they had done this sauce at the start of the 3rd quarter. DeLuca's done admirably in the centre square since French was off the ground. Stevens beaten to it by Sylvia. He hacks it forward out wide. And Teague will get there first. He needs to keep it in, and that's deliberate. And it's been paid. you're 31 points behind, why do that? There was no subtlety about it whatsoever.
The kick probably needed to be at least another 20 metres longer.
He had one-on-one contests ahead of him. He just needed to kick it as long as he could. Davey chips it in. Short mark taken by Reid. Now free kick here against Thorpe Reid for an elbow or forearm to the face of Kate Simpson. And Simpson just running innocently past Reid, cut the forearm, so the bad turnover there for the Demons. McGrath, 8 minutes still left. Could the impossible actually happen?
No.
Long towards half forward, going back Green. Whitnell was held, free kick. Rapid advantage paid. He's 30 metres from goal and he kicks it. Misses. Oh.
Another kick in the back.
It's coming back. Well, everything all of a sudden falling Carlton's way.
I was going to say it would have been a handy point.
And umpire McLaren just signifying to Brent Maloney that it was a push as he kicked the footy. So there you go. Come on, Blues. And Matthew Lappin from 30 metres, slight angle. A chance to bring the margin back to 25 points. Couple of steps and he misses this time to the left. Gee, he's disappointed with that. Maloney just let him know all about it.
Guess now I can say it, Sauce.
What's that?
Handy point. If they kick 5 in a row, they'll win. The Demons all bunched up, but now they break because the short kick came in. Whelan can link up with Reid. Well, that goal would have given the Blues 7.5 minutes to kick 4, which is most unlikely, but I guess within the realms of possibility.
Well, Carlton just need a man up here. Melbourne got control of the footy.
Cameron Bruce going for Holland and Robertson. Holland just shoved over the line. Just under 7 minutes remaining. Travis Johnston leading the way possession-wise for the day with 25. Bizzle 22 and Brown 20 for the Demons. Camporelli 23. Koutafidis, who I don't think's had a touch in this last quarter, has 21 and Stevens also 21. Travis Johnston with his 26 into the middle. And he's got a loose man, and that is Phil Reid. He's been as robust as ever today. Adding a bit of grunt to this Melbourne team. Lovely little sidestep from Brown, and that was too easy. No pressure at all there for Sylvia.
Yeah, he did really well, Brown. Just balked the player and just popped the ball out in front to Sylvia.
Captain watching on, David Neitz. His day probably finished. 11 possessions, 3 goals, 2.
And they've done well, the Demons, really. Right from the first bounce, they took the crowd out of the equation. They got off to a very good start. And really, it's been catch-up football by Carlton all day.
And here he is, young Colin Sylvia. He too doesn't have the kicking boot on. And we've seen some pretty ordinary shooting at goal today between the two sides. 26 goals and 29 points.
So not one goal scored at the Robert Heatley end in the second half, which is interesting as Morrell gives it back to Camporelli's kick. Didn't get to the target. Johnston. Sylvia, look out, good chase from Waite, but he's able to get the kick away. Holland over his head. And a boundary thrown at half forward for the Demons.
Should say 32 points, so 26 goals and 32 behinds.
There's the inside 50s, and Travis Johnston, what a game he's played for Melbourne. Putting in one of his best games, 27 possessions he's had. So, Holland got it down, but DeLuca was able to shark it. Scrambles a kick towards the wing. Bizzle, fantastic. Whelan kicks towards centre half forward, a couple of Demons. McLean, again, intent on playing on. It's a hallmark of their game. Wheatley at the front of the centre square. He's a thumping kick. Gets it to the goal square. Oh, Robertson up high, but at the back, the mark taken by T. Marks deep in his own defensive zone, and he brings it out half back as we get the 5-minute warning. Thornton, Lappin, long to the wing. Weight was held, no free kick. And the base of the pack, it's going to happen here, a bounce and centre wing.
Bounce on the wing. Last 5 minutes at this ground. How are you feeling, Sauce? Is it a bit emotional for you when it's all over or not?
I think the start of the game was the presenting of the 16 Cubs to see all the great players out there. But the Carlton supporters will always have a memory at this ground. It's not as if it won't be their home. Of course, it's still going to be their training base, new facilities here at the ground. And but certainly, I guess there is a sad moment to all this because they've been here for so long.
Camporelli, very labour-intensive build-up for the Blues, making Favola have to dance in amongst 4 demons. Finds Houlihan. Kev wants it back. Cooter's on his own about 30 out from goal, but Houlihan goes longer than that and may just have landed it. 4 goals in it.
Well, Ryan Houlihan probably hasn't had the best day today, but this kick here was an absolute beauty from outside 50. And whatever Dennis Pagan's done to his forward line in this last quarter, it certainly has worked. Plenty of talent up there. And they've won this last quarter comfortably.
And Neil Danaher be disappointed with his charges in his final term. 5-0. And the margin, and even 4 goals. DeLuca's been very good. McLean is able to slip the handball to Johnston. He's away. Bruce from 50 off a couple of steps. He bangs away and it's offline. So margin now down to 25 points in favour of the Demons. They led by as much as 57 points. In fact, that was the margin at 3/4 time. So Carlton have worked their way back into it as the clearing kick from Carazzo is marked by McDonald. Bizzle just chips out wide. Mark taken by Nathan Brown.
And we just saw that kick by Carazzo, just the turnovers. It's what's hurt Carlton all day. Melbourne have been very good in their field kicking for the majority of the day. Where Carlton have continually lost their or missed their targets, particularly in general play.
Maloney just forward of the wing. Bizzle looking to get on the end of it, but he'll kick it long. He does every time, Maloney. Inside attacking 50. Oh, big leap from Holland. Couldn't take it, Morrell. And skirting the back of the pack is Stevens. Now Waite. Good chase from McLean. Forcing the handball, and it missed the mark. Wheeland. They beat Carlton, the Melbourne side, through weight of numbers. Now it comes to Johnston. He chips it further afield. Robertson plays on, snaps around the body. And it's offline. Carlton need to force it through, but Carazzo just takes the line. Well played. Runs for full measure. Long towards the wing. Jarrett Waite up high. And Robertson will be disappointed.
He's got Whitnell forward if he turns.
He could have kicked his 7th there. Thornton, Stevens, McGrath. They work it through the midfield, and the kick from Favola is perfect. And he marks 52 from goal. He's kicked a couple in his final term. That is, in fact, his max total. So, taking nowhere near as long as he would ordinarily. Brendan Favola, realising that time is of the essence from 55. Long penetrating drop punt is offline. So, disappointing there. 2 goals, 3 a tally for Brendan Favola. And the margin back to 24 points.
2 goals, 2 for the quarter for Brendan Favola, but it's been a good quarter by the Blues. They restructured their forward line. They got it in nice and quickly. At least for all Carlton supporters here today, they've seen a last quarter that I think they'd be happy with given the occasion today.
So Johnston kicks out wide. McDonald. Melbourne just trying to retain possession. Maloney. McDonald picking up cheap possessions, the Melbourne side, but just ensuring they get over the line here. And I'm sure, Steve, at the start of the match, if you had to say to Neil Danaher, you're going to win by 4 goals, he would have taken it.
Well, they would have just come here for a win. No more, no less.
Wheeland almost threw it. Bizzle trying to get the handball free. As he tried, he was taken high. So free kick for Clint Bizzle. Coming into possession, number 26.
Yeah, played a great game today, Clint Bizzle. Struggled over the last couple of weeks, Michael, but back to his best today. Really important player for the Demons. Just sets up so much drive out of their defence, and he's a player that just gets across and helps his teammates.
Holland, 12 marks to Clint Bizzle, make it 13. There's a happy Carlton fan, despite the scoreline, as Bizzle just chips it short to Wheatley. Carlton has just got to man up in this situation, although time just certainly ticking down. And now the turnover. Well done, Jared Waite. Handball off to Stevens. He can go all the way. He needs to. From 50, he keeps it low and absolutely drills it. Well done, the Blues. They waited for the turnover. And the margin back to an even 3 goals. As Nick Stevens kicks goal number 2.
Yes, and we just saw Jarrett Waite there anticipate the kick across. Very good play. Nick Stevens on the end of it, and kicking Carlton's 6th goal for the quarter.
In fact, Steve, they've kicked 6 goals 6, and Melbourne have added just 3 behinds. So, well, you just never know. Who would have thought if they kicked straight, maybe they'd be closer. White, Bruce, Maloney, well done, got a hand in there. That was Eddie Betts, turned it over. Camporelli, Teague, and that's it. A valiant Carlton in the final term. They kicked 6 goals, 6-6 for 3 points. But at the end, the final game at Optus Oval.